Hello all and welcome. It's episode 3 of using black and white film to better understand the photographic process. Today is portrait day. Yay! We're in the studio. I'm so excited. Major's going to join us in a little bit, but I want to recap what we have decided so far, what our artistic choices have been so far. We have decided that we are going to do a portrait. We are going to do it in the studio. We're using studio strobes. I'm revisiting my one light and reflector setup. We have set everything up. We have tested the light. We have put the film in the camera, and our client, or our subject, Major, is going to be joining us in a little bit. One of the most important things about a portrait session, I feel, is your own mental preparation. You need to take time, sit down, before your client gets here, after you have everything set up in this little window, you're going to sit down, you're going to stop, and you're going to breathe. You need to bring yourself into the moment. Anything that's been going on during the day with your friends, your spouse, your work, blah, all that stuff, it needs to stay outside of the studio. You need to be present and in the moment. You need to be open to what you're going to receive from your subject. Calm your mind, sit down, and just breathe. Then you can start going over your plan for the session, what you're going to do and when you're going to do it. Now, this plan is just a guideline for you because if you have a connection with your subject, your plan may go completely out the window, but you need to start with a plan and then go from there. Are you ready? Come on in. Major is an actor, producer, production designer. He does everything. I had asked you here to be part of this. You know that we're going to do a black and white portrait. Super excited for it, yeah. What does a black and white portrait to you mean? I mean, I remember you did one, it was unintentional, but we did it at a restaurant a long time ago, and it really just captured the actual essence of who I was in that time, and the sun was coming in, and it was your great eye, and then just picked there. We were having breakfast, and so I would say it captures like the essence of what's going on, because you're not distracted by all the weird things that people wear and do. In saying that, there are rules out there today, rules about what people should wear as far as clothing. Part of the rules in portraiture is like no big patterns, no stripes, no plaids. You don't want to have anything that's detracting from the face. So these days, for me, I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, yeah, but if this is what the person wears all the time, I want my portrait to represent the person. Let's go through the clothes that you brought. Sure. I wear this. The green is kind of a great color for me. Brings out the great complexion, does because of his eyes. Just a great shirt. It can be for a work guy. It can be for a guy in an office. I could be counselor guy. I could be dad. These are super fun. In fact, the day you took that picture of me, I was wearing one of these. Not this one, because this one's been cut for a horror, kind of cut for a horror movie that I was doing and stuff like that. It's got a little bit of fake blood on it and stuff. But you know, these are the old fisherman guy and the old logger and things. So. Well, as I shared with people before, this is sort of a Karsh-esque kind of photo. So we are definitely going to use this one. Okay. And we're going to do like a horror. We're going to get you into horror, like, grrr. Yeah, that. And I think this one I'm not going to do, so I want to talk about this just a little bit. This is a very light colored. I'm not too concerned about the pattern in this. Because we've chosen to do the dark background and one light and a reflector, this light color is actually, if we put it up here, because it's light, it's going to detract from the face. I, a long time ago, took a course with Monty Zucker. He was an old-time wedding guy. Anyway, I took a course in Vegas, and one of the things that he said that truly stuck with me was the eye is drawn in a black and white portrait to where the highlights and the shadows meet. If you're putting something light like this, the highlights and the shadows, yeah, there's many spots where they're going to join. If he's in darker, then with the lighting that we're going to use, his face is going to show up more than if he was wearing white. Great. All right, we have a little bit of a plan because I want to photograph Major in the shirt he came in because this is who he is. He wears a kilt. He always has a different t-shirt on that says something. And then we are going to do the old classic, more like Karsh, but our little twist on it is going to be the horror aspect of it. I'm so excited to do this.
That sounds fun.
Yay! Okay. We're going to get started. Now that we've made some decisions about clothing, we have set Major down. This is how I had the studio set up from before. We are going to test the light. We took a meter reading. If you remember in the last video, we are at 5.6. And we are going to take a test with a digital camera. I know this is about film, but back in the day, we used to use Polaroids. So you would have a separate back for the medium format that would be exactly the same settings as what your camera was. And we would do a Polaroid. I'm sure everybody's seen those. And it was literally to see that the lighting the ratios were exactly what they wanted them to be. We are going to do the same thing, only we are going to use the digital camera. All right, here we go. I have my camera set, 100 ISO. We are at 5.6, and you want to make sure that your camera is set to sync with your flash. Some cameras are at 60, some are at 125, some are at 160. Depends. You need to know what your camera syncs to the studio strobes. Very important. All right, we're going to do a test. And we have the Pocket Wizards at the moment in order to do the test. Let's go over here. Just looking at me, it's just a lighting test. Oh, there he is. Nice. Great. And there we go. Pocket Wizards will not work with the medium format as we talked before. So I have the handy dandy old-fashioned sync cord. This sync cord is yellow. They used to make them black, and they were such a pain because you could trip on them. You are in a studio and you are connected to the light. And nowadays with digital, a lot of photographers are connected to a laptop or a computer in order to take photos. I don't like that. I don't like being attached to the machinery, but we're gonna do it anyway. Do I have the lighting on the face that I want? Not quite. I'm going to get you to turn a little bit more that way, if you don't mind. Fabulous. Now there's some shadowing on here. Now for the video, I do have a fill light on. So this is filling in a little bit. It looks very nice, but it's not what the end photo is going to look like. So I'm going to turn off the fill light, and it's going to go really dark on the shadow side. But I'm going to do that so that you can see what the lighting, what I have in my head, and you can actually see what it looks like. Turn off the fill light. Ooh, now it's moody in here. All right. Very nice. And I think I'm going to move the light a little bit to this side because I want a little bit more shadowing. Now when I'm moving the light, I'm keeping the distance between the light and the person the same distance so that my lighting will not change. My f-stop does not need to change because the distance between the light and Major's face is the same. I think that's what I want. I'm moving the reflector because this is our second light, and it is going to put a nice little rim light on this side. Okay, we're gonna take a photo. And as I said before, this camera I haven't used in ages, so this should be fun. Let's hope that it actually syncs and takes a photo and everything.
Of course it will.
Okay, here we go.
I believe in you.
Thanks.
And the camera.
And the camera. Alrighty. Have my handy dandy get up higher little stool here. Ooh, oh my God, it looks so good through here. And it's really hard to focus. Just like that. Now, let's just turn a little bit more that way, if you don't mind. And then turn your head a little more towards me. Yeah, nice. That's great. And chin down just a little. Now, from my side, there's a nose shadow that isn't quite in the right spot, so I'm going to change the light just a little bit. I'm going to go up just a little. Yeah, I like that a little better. There's a lot of fine-tuning when you're doing this kind of one light, because every little movement makes a difference. Oh, looks so good. Very nice. Oh, and it didn't flash. All right, it didn't work the last time, freaking sync cord, but I have a second one. You always gotta have backup for the backup. You have to have a plan. Problem solving, like I said before. All right, here we go. We're gonna try it again. And here we go. Focus, that's great. Turn just a little more. Yeah, great. And then eyes here. I'm gonna go a little higher. I'm just gonna fix a sleeve thing. Little details make a difference. And we're shooting film, so you can't just like change it all later in photo. Well, you could, but we're pretending we can't. That's the point. There we go. Very nice. A few technical difficulties.
It happens.
We're gonna do it again. It's gonna work this time, Major.
I'm not saying anything. Last two times I jinxed you.
Okay. Very nice.
Yay.
Yay, it flashed, and yay, it sounds good. I'm very excited that one shot worked. The cord wasn't syncing properly. This is my third cord. It's now working. We just did a shot. We were testing. It works. Now I'm going to fine tune. You can see a little bit of the lighting now. You can see that when he turns his head this way, there's some shadowing happening here. I'm using the reflector to fill in the shadow just a little bit. It's going to look amazing when we actually develop the film and get it back. This is really old film, so I am actually, even though our light is 5.6, I'm actually shooting at f4 instead because the film is old, so we have to overdevelop and overexpose just a little bit. But I'm standing on top of the stool now. Ah, looks so good. Okay, and listen to the sound of this camera. You know when you've taken a photo. And just your chin down just a little, Major. Down a little more. And can you lean towards me just a little bit? Yeah, that's great. Oh, looks so good. It's so nice. Oh, okay. We're gonna do this. We've done only 2 shots in this. I chose to keep this shirt because this is Major. And I wanted to do one portrait that was him in his own clothes. Well, the other ones are his too, but this is who he is every single day. Now we're gonna change and we're gonna put on the horror shirt and go from there.